Hey, it's Judd at Rock Dome TV, and we're here at the Rochester Dome in Henrietta. I'm here with Cathy Driver. Cathy, how are you? Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure, Judd. Nice to meet you.
So you have a business. It's called mailboxchick.com.
Right.
That is that your business is not a .com, but you are on the website as a .com.
Correct.
So I saw you at the Erie County Fair.
Yes.
I loved your stuff, and I wanted to catch up with you at the Dome. So tell me, you've got some of the most amazing painted mailboxes and painted hummingbird feeders that I've ever seen. Tell me about it, how long you've been doing this for, and tell me your work process.
Sure. I started painting mailboxes about 25 years ago. I found a paint that I bake into the surface so it doesn't yellow or fade or chip, which is what the problem people run into when they spray an acrylic over it, because they can't stand up to the heat and the cold. And you certainly have plenty of cold up here. I've been painting mailboxes for 25 years, and I do #1 flower show, craft show, and state fair in the country. And I'm able to continue to go back to the same shows because they are so durable. My customers come back to visit and buy them as gifts or buy replacements for your snowplow problem up here. But because everyone only needs 1 or 2 mailboxes, I expanded my business and started doing all types of things for the garden. So I paint hummingbird feeders, I do garden bells, I do regular bird feeders and bird houses. With my hummingbird feeders, I love when people who have never have seen the hummingbirds in their garden, have never done the feeders. They don't realize that if you feed them, they will come in mass quantities here in upstate New York. And it's just a simple sugar water solution that you put into the container. It is a simple 1/4 cup sugar, 1 cup of water, but the work is involved when you have to change the fluid every 5 to 7 days during the summer, because you're not putting any preservatives in it. I don't like you to use the food dyes. It's not good for the hummingbirds. And by changing it regularly, you will have more hummingbirds.
I've actually seen hummingbird feeders that don't have food coloring in the water, and they seem to do very well. And I think that it was a myth that I had always believed that they always had to be red.
Well, hummingbirds are attracted to reds and yellows. They do like bright colors, but they prefer that you keep the food fresh. So you can encourage them originally, and that's why I paint on so much red glass and I paint flowers on all of the glass, is once the hummingbirds do arrive, you take the red away from them and they don't care. They just want it to be fresh. Any hummingbird, the males are the ones who establish the territories, and if you can catch one while he's coming through on his migration pattern, he can attract up to 20 females into your garden, and the babies that are born in your area will return. They're very faithful, and they live 3-5 years, so you will get generation after generation in your garden if you are good and do feed them, and they learn that you are a food source.
Okay, in the Buffalo area, we typically plant gardens around Memorial Day. Is there a certain time that you would recommend having the hummingbird feeders out in place by?
Judd, that's a very good question. Hummingbirds migrate all the way from Mexico up to Canada, and every year is just slightly different, and this particular year we're running very early. Hummingbirds right now, I had a friend call me this morning, they're in North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
So when I do a show in Ocean City, Maryland in May for Mother's Day, they're generally arriving there. Last year they were 2 weeks ahead of that. So you want to get your feeders out as early as possible, because if you catch those migrating ones, they will stay and establish. Now, I recommend that you put your feeder out after that last serious freeze. Ice creates a problem and blows the glass apart, but you can't put it out too early or keep it out too late. I want you to keep your feeders out through October. You may not have your hummingbirds in your garden, but the migratory ones that are coming through, when there are a few flowers, they need and rely on us to take care of them.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Judd Lurie, Rock Dome TV with Cathy Driver and her absolutely beautiful business. She's found at mailboxchick.com, and you can see she's got some absolutely amazing, these are hand-painted glass and metal hummingbird feeders. They're very, very durable. They aren't plastic. They're metal. They just stand the test of time, and especially up in the north, you just want something beautiful for the cherished garden over the very short summer that we have. So, Cathy, thank you so much.
Thank you, Judd. Nice to meet you.
Thanks.